Hello and welcome to the forest. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome. Today's stream is a little bit earlier than on the schedule because I overestimated how long my work today is going to take. So for once, we're early. I know, bizarre. But we have quite a few things to go through. So at the moment, I'm eating my dinner because, you know, your girl's going to have to find time to eat her food. But today we're going to go over some of the cooking I've done over the weekend. Mostly because a lot of this cooking had like 2-hour intervals of waiting, and I thought it was better to pre-record it. Which means the quality of the recording may be not as good because I can't edit it real time, but I will comment on it as we go along. This is something that's been redeemed from the Ultimate Wheel, from the last Streamathon, and has been widely requested. So I've done it, and still haven't figured out a way to go through it. So I think I might attempt to do it. Okay, I need to. I guess it's media source. Okay, cool. Okay, let's try this. This is, I think, the ice cream. Oh gosh. Alright, gotta move it behind. I really didn't think this through, did I? Give me a second. There we go. I'm in front of it now. Let's put it all the way back. Well, not this far back. There we go. There we go. You should be able to see it now. Let me see if the chat's coming up. Oh, it's behind me right now. Okay, okay. Let me move. Let me move. Myself. There we go. I think this is okay. Cool. So, I don't know if you... Ooh, maybe this is not the best layout. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Sorry. Remove. Yes. Alright, we're gonna go into the gaming one. Because the gaming one has a slightly different layout, okay? Bits. I really am unprepared for this, lol. Gonna pause it. And gonna move it all the way down. All the way down. Also, we can have puppy cam. For sure. Let me sort him out. There we go. Dog. There he is. Little shit. Just taking a nap. Okay. Here is... Oh no, don't move now. Don't move now! Yeah, stupid shit. I swear to God. Oh, it's playing. You can see me adjusting the lighting and how kind of amateurishly bad it is. My apologies. It is what it is. Okay? Alright, let me go down here so you guys can see a bit better. Let's make this about this big. Okay. Cool. Do this. Oh! Gotta move the chat. Gotta move the chat. There we go. Okay. We're set. Should have done this before I started streaming, but your girl... Yeah, girl thought this was gonna be quick, easy, and dirty. What do you want, dog? Do you want my dinner? You can't have it. Anyway. Okay. So this is the recipe I found online for... Hey! Highway, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How's your life? This is something I've cooked over the weekend, as I mentioned before, because for this particular recipe, there are like an hour wait times because I'm making homemade ice cream and I don't have an ice cream maker. So I had to put it in and out of the freezer every hour. So I was like, this is a bit annoying. Let me just do it over the weekend and record it rather than stream it. So we're going to be watching a recording. Hello, extrovert from YouTube. Yes. Okay. So let's start. So this is the first time I've ever done like a cooking stream. I don't know how it's done. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am trying. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in chat. Okay. So this is a homemade ice cream recipe I found. So first, let's see what I put in. I already forgot the goddamn recipe. I don't remember what I did. This was all a blur because I did tiramisu and ice cream in the same day. These are actually not that hard to do, not gonna lie. There could be some pauses in between. Like you could just be looking at the front, mostly because I remembered I forgot to bring out something. So the first ingredient you can see here, unfortunately, the lighting in my kitchen isn't the best. Tiramisu is coffee flavored. The lighting in the kitchen is not the best. I am not a professional chef. I have a pretty shitty kitchen, as you can see, not a gas hob. But I recorded this and then I realized that the light was too much.
Hello.
Thank you for the follow, Extrovert. Welcome to the forest. So yeah, I realized the lighting was kind of shit. But I'm going to tell you what this is. This is extra thick double cream. You can find this in... This one is particularly from Tesco, so you can find this in any shop. Just get double cream or, you know, just, yeah, double cream will do, but I wanted to get extra thick double cream to help the ice cream thicken up a little bit. I think you can see it. It's about 300 ml, so quite a big tub. So I popped it into a pan because I wanted to melt the sugar. I mean, it's very white. You can't see it, but it's very thick. I had to use this. I thought it was just going to come out. I had to use a spoon to get it out. Yeah, you can see how it's already quite clotted, right? I find this makes an ice cream very, like, solid and creamy if you don't have an ice cream maker. It seemed to work quite well for me, so. Dog, I'm trying to eat dinner. Leave me alone. But yeah, just a fun video of me trying to get every single last drop of cream from the pot. I don't know why I showed it again. I just did. Oh yeah, definitely take it from the lid. You don't want to waste it. Alright. What's next? I'm also curious. This was almost a week ago. You can see Archie's little tail. Aw. Yeah, I forgot something in the fridge, so I opened it up. Do you see what I mean? Doing this live is not the best. Because my computer was quite far away. Yeah, see, my computer was far away. I walked out to check if it was recording, and then I realized it was kind of skewed. So yeah. So you can see how much cream I have on the left there, because the same cream is used for tiramisu and for beef stroganoff. So I was like, damn. I was wearing an orange shirt back then. So this is extra thick double cream and whole milk. Make sure to use whole milk for the ice cream. If you use skimmed milk, while I know it's more diet and better for calorie-wise, the ice cream will not, like, solidify. But before I put the milk, I put, I think, around 200 grams of sugar. Quite a lot of sugar. I think that's what the recipe called for. But of course, you can put less sugar if you want. It's not gonna change anything. Why is your fur matted, dog? But yeah, that is about, yeah, you can see about 200 grams You see that quite clearly, actually, on there, so. So yeah, I just poured it in. Obviously, if you have a mixer, use it, but your girl here doesn't bake, so I don't have a mixer. So I use my hand. I don't remember, did I add milk already? No, not yet. So I'm like folding sugar into the double cream. What do you want? I can see your tail on the camera. You can't have my salmon. Go away. Mm-hmm. Some whole fat milk. You can see the line of cream on the left. Conveyor belt of cream. Also, sorry if you hear chewing. I'm eating my, yeah, Archie's being petted. Don't you worry. Look at his butt. Look how happy he is. He wants a broccoli. Okay, I'll give him a broccoli. Hold up. Did I add the milk already? There you go. Have a broccoli. And go away. Oh, wow. You're just eating it right here. Alright. So I think it's about 200 ml of milk. I measure everything in ml, not in cups, because cups is a retarded way of measuring things. No offense. I'm a scientist. Give me in ml or grams, okay? I understand formulas in milliliters and grams. Because that's how I cook in my work. I love how, because of the lighting, the pan just looks like it has a freaking... Yeah, I mean, the recipe had cups in it, so I had to sit here before I started and literally use, like, conversion from American units to normal people units. That was a struggle. And at this point, I think I remember I forgot something, so I walked away. And came back later. Archie, leave me alone! I'm trying to eat. Bro? Why are you licking me? Yo, is the video playing? Yeah, you can see in the reflection I walked away a little bit. I think I went to check the recipe or something. But yeah, you can see there's a little bit of vanilla standing in that corner. And I'm kind of mixing the mixture while I turn the hob on medium heat. So that is kind of to melt the cream and the sugar together and the milk to give it a better consistency. But I've read that you can actually skip this step. You don't have to do it. I'll just do this. Oh my god, let me eat my food, dog. So I don't remember if I added vanilla yet, but it's 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Again, all of these ingredients you can easily buy in a Tesco or Sainsbury's or whatever shop you've got next to you. They're not anything too fancy. Buddy. Yeah, there you go. I added vanilla now. You can see I'm like tapping Buddy here, and you can see his tail when I'm petting him and starts moving. Yeah, spoonful of vanilla makes everything better. Some people put vanilla into soups, you know, because it's just good. A little bit of salt. I actually didn't add enough salt. Salt gives ice cream a little bit of a zest. Personally, I love salt. Salty ice cream, so I would generally just make myself some salty ice cream. Because, you know, salted caramel is something I'm pretty much in love with. But yeah. What is it, buddy? Mommy's streaming. Calm down. He's just sitting next to me. Such a cute baby. Yeah, I finally got myself, I think this is a whisk or is it a spoon? I might be using a whisk at this point even. But yeah, out of anything to do with the baking, I actually only have a whisk. So yeah, this part was kind of boring because I was waiting for the sugar to melt. So The way you can tell if the sugar's melted is if you see like granules of sugar, it's not melted yet. So when you don't see granules anymore and the mixture's kind of more or less uniform, that's how you know it's melted. Stop begging! You've been fed. Leave me be. This dog. He does not treat me as an authority figure at all. Doesn't give a shit about me. Fascinating content. Isn't this? Stir, stir, stir! Stirring, 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 stirring. Like a mad woman. I was actually watching... Every time I cook, I watch, like, if it's a recipe I've done before. Hey, Sarata, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see I'm using a whisk. If it's a recipe I've done before, I'd be, like, watching a video, like a YouTube video or something. Or a movie or something. It is relaxing. I turned the sound off because I have a very loud and noisy extractor fan in the kitchen. Because I don't have any windows in the kitchen, so the only way to get, like, all the steam out is through the extractor fan. And so I thought that would be quite annoying in the video, so I just muted it. I'm making homemade ice cream. There's a homemade ice cream, then we're gonna see a tiramisu recipe, and then a beef stroganoff recipe that my mom gave me. Which, I can vouch for. Stop trying to eat my chair. My dog is trying to eat my chair. Alright, I think the mixture has gotten to the proper consistency at this point. And I don't remember what I did next. Okay, I took a little bit to try because taste, just as Gordon Ramsay says, taste everything. I think I was pretty satisfied with the mixture at that point. Cute. There you go. Turn off the hob. Wait for it to cool down. And... Yep. Absolutely snow white mixture that you cannot see due to the lighting. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I actually don't have any water in it. Oh, I lied. I do have water. Behind the dog. Thank you for the hydrate, my dude. Alright. I think at this point, I went to get the pan again. Oh, no. Cookies. Yes. I'm using Maryland because I bought a twin pack and there was tons of them. But you can use anything. You can use brownies. You can use cookies. You can use cherries. You can use berries. Whatever you want in your ice cream. You put it in there. No problem, Highway. Have fun. It's a school night, isn't it? Good luck. I mean, the ice cream, unfortunately... This isn't live, Sarata. This is pre-recorded. And because I'm adding chocolate cookies, ice cream is not very good for dogs because there's a lot of sugar in there. So I'm actually crushing... At the moment, I don't know if you can see here. I don't think you can. I'm crushing the cookies in a bowl. Oh, actually, no. At this point, I am looking for something to crush the cookies with. There we go. I found a bowl. And then I don't actually have, like... I found a bowl and I didn't find a mortar. Sorry, I didn't find a pestle. So I guess I'm just using the thing for mashing potatoes. And it kind of worked. Yeah, kind of, as you can see. It's crushing them. Not as good as I'd like, but it is crushing him. You have to improvise in the kitchen. It is what it is, as they say. One must improvise to survive. Oi, oi. I mean, they're going in the ice cream, so yeah. If this thing can mash potatoes, it can definitely mash cookies. But then I realized... didn't mash that well, so I had to smack him, and then obviously I spilled some. Yeah, that's how I cook. A nightmare. I'm a nightmare in the kitchen. Yeah, some of the pieces I had to break with my hand because they just would not refuse to be broken. Fucking dog! Bite me! Fucking bite me! Oh my god! This is the billionth time I'm telling you to stop biting me! Sorry, guys. The dog decided to fucking chew on my arm. I think you might have seen it on camera, because that fucker decided to just drag my hand. Asshole. Jesus. Anyway, you put the cookies in the cream, and get yourself a nice iced cream. By the way, the dog is not. Yes, the dog wants. No, the dog wants my current dinner, which is salmon, which I'm eating. Yep. So I kind of mixed it through. Tried to mash it. Didn't really work. But the mixture for the ice cream was complete at this point. So I believe... Don't worry, I gave him some mashed potato. There you go. I got myself a tray. It's better to use a metal tray, but you can use a glass tray as well, from what I've read. But the metal tray cools down much faster. I don't remember I was mixing it so much. I think I might have just zoned out while I was mixing it. But anyway, it is done. And then you just pour it into the tray. It's best not to overfill the tray, but you can put it up pretty high, honestly. I didn't know how much ice cream to make, so I made, like, as much cream as I had. Yeah, put that in the freezer. For the first time you put it in... Yeah, there you go. Thumbs up. For the first time, I swear to God, you will get slapped again. For the first time, I put it in for 90 minutes, I think, but I'll tell you the exact timer in a second once I pop the tray in the freezer. So if you have an ice cream maker, your life is so much easier. If you don't have an ice cream maker, your life is just sad, I guess. Like me. Yes, an hour and a half, 90 minutes. And that is the end of this video. Now, we can jump in time. Jump in time to, I think, the next video. Where... basically, I take the tray out after an hour and a half. Yeah, well, after an hour and a half in the freezer, I think I take out the tray. I'll show you what the consistency looks like. If I ever get to it, Jesus. I completely forgot how many unnecessary pauses there are in the video. Oh well, I get to chat with you guys. Oh. You can see it's starting to congeal a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. And so I use the whisk to kind of make sure to get to the edges, and it's okay if it melts. What you're kind of doing now, you're introducing like air into your ice cream. And the point is, it's gonna melt, but you're, like, helping it clot, I guess. And, of course, I tried to smack the thing on the rim and realized it sprayed everywhere, and I went, oh my god, get off me. Get off. Okay. Yeah, just, like, get into those pesky edges, getting the, cookies out of the whisk, and then, putting it back in the freezer for, I think, 40 minutes next. Let me check. Yeah, I think 40 minutes. Don't worry, I set myself a timer for this, so... Yes! 45, sorry. 45 minutes. And then, after 45 minutes... Ha! Hey, Ava! Well, you snooze, you lose, Ava. It is what it is. I'm good. We're going over the ice cream recipe. So all I did was mix cream, vanilla, Maryland cookies, milk, and some salt into a pot and mixed it, put it in a pan. Sorry, put it in a metal tray. Left it for, at this point, 2+ hours. And this is after 45 minutes of that. I think. You can see it's already quite congealed. This is after 90 minutes and mixing, and this is 40 minutes and mixing. You can see that I had to hold the tray with my hand because everything was quite congealed to the edges. But every time you sort of do this, it's like an ice cream mixer. The whole point of it is when you whisk it, you introduce air particles, and that makes the ice cream fluffier, makes it happen somehow. Again, I've never done this before. It does not look very appetizing at first. Looks like, pastel mush. But then, you know, you don't keep him out for too long. And I think you put this in for another 30 minutes. And, yeah, I've done that, like, for at least 4 hours. I think there's one more video of it. Hey, Ace! Oh, they're good. Sam's out with a friend. Archie's bullying me right now. I'm trying to eat dinner and he's bullying me. Oh, okay. Sorry. This is the wrong video. Wrong video. Premature. Okay. So that was the ice cream. Now, we're going to talk about how I made the tiramisu. So tiramisu is actually a lot more interesting. And it came out... I personally like that recipe much better. So, it came out much better for me. Alright. So for the tiramisu, I think you mix everything in a bowl. First, I took the same sort of extra thick double cream I've used for the ice cream, and then I realized after doing this that the lighting was shit on my things, so I put my hand so you can actually see the text what it is. About 300 ml of that. Yeah, it was like mashed ice cream. It got the consistency got. You're doing this on purpose, you demon! Taking your fucking squeaky toy. Anyway. But yeah, you can see me, using all that cream I bought. For a good use. Just, put it in a bowl. And actually, I realized that this bowl is too small, but... I got away with it. I don't know what you guys are supposed to look at. Archie's also being a menace, wanting to get some attention here. Go away, dog. Leave me be. Alright, so that's the double cream. And then I put sugar. I think also around 200 grams, maybe a little bit less. It didn't actually come out as sweet as I wanted to, so I might add more sugar next time. But for now, I think it was, dog? Yeah. I think 150 grams. Stop biting my chair, dog. Get out. Alright. Sorry, I'm fighting with the dog. Apparently he just wants attention. He's not gonna leave me alone. You biting my jacket? I can see you! Okay, I added Madagascar vanilla. Again, a tablespoon, just like I did to the ice cream. Get off me. And take a whisk. And I think... What do you want? I'm in the middle of a stream right now. Can you hear him? Whitey little bitch. What? What do you want? You can see me mixing the vanilla and the cream and the Do you like me saying these words? And so you're climbing up to me? Oh yeah, I decided to add another pot of just regular double cream because I realized it was too solid. Stop eating my cables. It was too solid. So I've decided to liquefy it just a teeny tiny bit. Sorry, I was reading a meme a friend sent me. It's a good meme. Yep, and you whisk, whisk, whisk away. Whisk, whisk, whisk away. Sorry, dog's being right bastard. Okay, actually, let me just quickly pause. So I think, yeah, at this point, I tried it for consistency, and I decided to, like, whisk it properly, because it's supposed to be the cream that you put on top of, the, lady fingers for the tiramisu. So, as this is happening, dog fucking refuses to leave me alone, so I'm just gonna step away for 1 second to clean up the food so he stops trying to climb into my lap. Oh yeah, you see here how vigorously I whisk it. So I'm just gonna pause it for like 1 second. Dog's being completely insufferable. I need a minute. I need a minute to deal with it. I'm going to seriously deal with you. You're gonna be in so much trouble, sir. Dang it. I'm back. There's no more food at the table, nothing to destroy, so I'm just gonna... If he wants to jump, he can jump. I don't care. Alright, let's continue. So, after whisking... quite aggressively. It's a good hand workout, not gonna lie. I decided to add a little bit more cream. And whisk some more. As one does. I know some people add, eggs to the tiramisu, but I found like even without the eggs, with the mascarpone cheese, it was quite, solid already. So I felt like having eggs on there will be a bit much. Alright, dog apparently wants to be in this position. So, observe the dog. Fine, you get pets. Whisk, 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 whisk away. Whisk, 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 whisk. Aggressive whisking. And cute dog. And a flash of girl boob. All you wanted was some pets. You just wanted pets, huh? You just wanted pets. Oh, he's a cute boy. Yeah, so I got some mascarpone cheese. I only found this in Co-op. I could not find one in Tesco. I think I might have found one in Sainsbury's, but I prefer the co-op mascarpone cheese. So if you're in the UK and you're trying to make this, grab yourself a co-op mascarpone cheese. It's also really good in a risotto. Can vouch for it. And I'm the type that's like, I never like to leave a pot on, like, you know, you use half of it and then you don't use the rest. I've realized that the problem with that is it goes bad before you get to use it again. So I'm like, all of my recipes include like, use a whole pot of this and a whole pot of that. But yeah, mascarpone cheese is a fuck. But that's what gives the what are you doing, dog? Anyway, that's what gives the tiramisu cream that consistency. Okay, the dog has left the building. He does not want to be seen. Sometimes he's such a handful. He's such a drama queen. Alright, and whisk it into your cream mixture. This was actually very difficult. Obviously, if you have a hand mixer, this is a few seconds prep. And if you have a bigger bowl, that should be easier, but I'm not that bright, so I didn't use a bigger bowl, okay? But I made it work. And then I realized it was so thick, I had to use a spoon to get, like, bits out of the whisk. Because it refused to get stuff out of it. Alright, so that's for the... I think that's it for the cream. I think... Yeah, you can see this is kind of the consistency you want. You can see it's stiff peaks. Stiff peaks? That is what the recipe called for, so I assumed that this consistency is what's called stiff peaks. Jesus, I don't know why that word just obsesses me so much. Yeah, I did the final, like... mixing just to like make sure it's all mixed through. You don't want one part to be creamy and one part to be cheesy. You kind of want it to be the same consistency. I'm trying to fold it in, you know. Obviously half of it's in my fingers. Man, I'm super gotten together when I'm cooking. How did I say? Know what I'm doing. Alright. I believe this is where I might be preparing... Oh, okay. No, this is just a cleanup. I spilled some cream, so I'm just gonna wipe, I think. I better. See a little speck? Yeah, there you go. Wipe the table. Well, not the table, this is the freaking... And, this is, Savoiardi Ladyfingers. Is the break it or make it of tiramisu. I couldn't find these in any shop, so I bought them off of Amazon. And I still have enough to make another tiramisu, so, 100% can recommend these. If you have them in your local store, good for you. If you don't, get them off Amazon. So, next, we actually have a Dolce Gusto machine. So we have, like, an espresso roast capsule. So, I made myself some, like, machine espresso. And, yeah, you can see, like, about this much. I had to make another cup later, but, so basically, I would say 2 cups of coffee. And then, of course, because your girl can't make a dessert without involving booze. And the recipe calls for it, okay? So don't come at me. It was like, oh, add something like Tia Maria or Kahlua. And I was like, bruh, I have both. I'ma put both in there. It said like a spoonful. Bitch, please. A spoonful? Really? I just eyeballed it. Think I might have added like a shot. Nah, a bit less than a shot. It's because I was adding both. I didn't want to go completely ham, but yeah, Kahlua is amazing. It's insane. Yeah, I think that is like a tablespoon and a half, actually, when you think about it. Cool. And then you basically get yourself a, not a deep dish, but like a narrow dish. And then I realized this one was too small. And I switched to a bigger one later. But for now, that's it. Yep. And then you get out the dish which you're going to use to lay out your tiramisu. So yeah. You open up the saviolardi bowl, and you take each ladyfinger. Oh, there you go. See me opening it up. Pulling out the little... There you go, that's what they kind of look like. Also, if you see my fingers are bandaged, it's because I've injured myself defrosting the freezer, so... to fit the ice cream. So, apologies in advance if my hands look battered. They were. Alright. So yeah, you kind of dip the ladyfingers, and then you just line them up. Yeah. I was trying to figure out which is the best way to line them up. And so... I think I did it this way first. Then I moved them around. No, you can't, Ava! You know I have a boyfriend! Stop it! I need to spray my nose. I can't breathe again. So these ladyfingers, they absorb coffee like crazy and then they start crumbling. So it's better to like dip them quickly, which at first I didn't know, so I was like trying to spread it across the whole thing and then they got really mushy. Alright. So, dipping the fingers, putting them in. It's very entertaining to watch someone do this. But it was very satisfying, like, the ladyfinger lining up thing. It was pretty good. Very true, but all I'm saying is, girl, I'm taking. Cool. Yeah, you can see where the coffee liqueur, like, seeped into the ladyfingers. And then I decided, yeah, I need a bigger bowl, so I just switched. Sure, go ahead. Quote me, a D&D streamer. Oh yeah, dipping the fingers went much quicker now. Let me move a little bit to the side so you guys get to see. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I think I was trying to figure out how best to, like, line them up because the dish was too wide. Although I could have probably fit another ladyfinger up in there, now that I think about it. Jesus Christ. If somebody took this audio out of context, this would have gotten really weird. What with all the stiff peaks and ladyfingers? It's weirdly sexual. Not meant that way completely, but, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was doing here. I think I was, like, adjusting the camera. Oh, I realized I need another cup of coffee. Because I ran out really quickly. And I basically need, like, two layers of these. So, yeah. I think at this point I realized I fucked up. And I've decided to, like, yeah, and I had to, like, put them sideways because they wouldn't fit diagonally. Yeah, no. I even had to break a few to, like, make sure they fit in the bowl. Bowl? Sure. Sure, let's call it that. You can see me trying to fit it and being like, damn it! The thing doesn't fit. Then I broke it, and there you go. Solved! Atta girl! That PhD did not get wasted. Yeah, it did. Cool. So that's, I believe, layer number 1. And then... Oh, no, not yet. I decided to... Oh, cool. I decided to put another one in there. And I ate that one. It was delicious. Wasn't very sweet. Was kind of, plain. You know what I mean? Hachi! Where are you, baby? I'm sorry Mommy was angry at you, but Mommy was eating and you were trying to bite her hand and that was not cool. Come back! Where the hell is the dog? He'll come back. Alright, at this point I think I went to grab myself another cup of coffee? Believe so. Oh no, actually, there you go. So then you take your mixture and... Yep, decided to move things out of the camera. Take your mixture. Also, sorry if you see bruises on my hands. These are all from the dog. Because he does not... He doesn't respect me. Or my authority. So the mixture, because of the mascarpone cheese and the double cream, was so heavy. It was really hard to spread it across the ladyfingers. It was like a full, like, solid cream. So I had to... For God's sake... Yes! Spread it, Ava! Because what else do you call this action? Spreading the cream on the ladyfingers! Don't touch grass! Jesus. But yeah, you can see some of the ladyfingers sort of, It's not midnight! It's 10 p.m., woman! You clearly didn't touch enough grass. But yeah, you kind of, I had to really struggle with the mixture. So this is what happens when you use extra thick double cream. And you whisk it until you get stiff peaks. I'm going literally the wording in the recipe. Okay? God damn it. Is this what y'all wanted me to make tiramisu? So you can do clips of me saying phrases like spreading cream and mascarpone cheese over the ladyfingers? Is that why? This was so highly requested for some reason. Then stop. Where is my dog? Nah, he fucked off. I was mean to him. He fucked up. But yeah, I was really struggling with that last cream bit. Because I didn't want to use the whole bowl of cream, because it has to go on top as well. Thank you, Ava, but I'm on a fucking diet, and I gained like 2 kilos from eating all of this, so it was delicious. But now I hate myself, so thanks. True. That would be cruel. Girl, I don't just give you weapons. I give you a whole nuclear arsenal. I've always been the girl that never understood the that's what she said phrase. Oh yeah, I made another coffee. So I basically, in high school and everywhere else, I would say things and then I would see people start to die from laughter. And I'm just sitting there like, what? And then after I went to university in England, after I turned like 26, I started getting it as I was saying it, but I still could not stop myself from saying it. And so, now it's worse. Now I know I've given you an arsenal to wield, but I am aware of it. Before I was not aware. And then I'd be like, what did I say? What happened? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. But yeah, at this point, I think at this point I put a lot of Kahlua in, because I was just like, fuck it. Let's make a drunk tiramisu. And at this point, I decided to actually change the orientation of the ladyfingers to more horizontal. So it kind of goes crisscross. I think it's because of the shape of the dish I was using. If you have a dish where your ladyfingers fit perfectly, then you don't need to do this kind of Tetris with it. But I had to. So, yeah. There you go. You can see it now. Sure. I'll let you have that one. Lord. But yeah, I was surprised by how simple the recipe was. I usually dislike baking, mostly because I'm not very good at it. And I am always on a diet, so I always try to not eat anything sweet. But this recipe was dangerously easy and quick. So, Jesus. So yeah. Now I know how to make it. But yeah, I realized my kitchen is not very good for like cooking streams, so I'm probably not gonna do these anymore. These are not the best. Ava's always coming in with the Riz. Ava is the Rizzler. She just keeps... Every time, every stream, there has to be at least one Riz attempt. And I mean, you can't blame a Rizzler for, you know, attempting to Riz. It's kind of what they do. But doubtful you will. This was so uncomfortable. I mean, at least when I'm not using the stove, this was okay. But when I am using the stove, Jesus, the camera placement, with my tripod, I couldn't find a good place for me to put it. And, like, my kitchen is tiny. There was nowhere to, like, spread, you know? And unless I get, like, a fucking big-ass kitchen, I'm doubtfully doing this again, because this is... Yeah, it just was not a comfortable experience for me. And doing that live would be impossible, because my whole setup is in, like, a different room. And... yeah. You know what? Just clip me already. Like, at this point... I know you want to. I know you're itching. There's actually a clip command, which does, like, last 30 seconds. If you're... not very, It's in the description of the video. But yeah. At this point, I think... I don't remember why there's a big pause. I might be cleaning up. Because every time I cook, I kind of clean up as I go along. Again, because the kitchen is so small. I can't just, like, leave dishes out or leave plates out, because I would have to play Tetris with opening, like, microwave door or cabinet doors. So, because of the lack of space, I kind of learned to... As I am cooking, I finish a step, I finish with, like, a plate or a bowl, and I pop it in the, like, not the dishwasher, but the, sink. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. Sink. So yeah, long pause. Yeah, final cream spreading on the ladyfingers. So I did this in between my ice cream making, and that was on Sunday, so I had raid as well. So I kind of had to run back and forth to deal with the ice cream. Ice cream is a full day affair, honestly. It's like, I think it takes like 5 minutes to mix, but then because you don't have an ice cream maker, every half an hour you need to take it out, you know, mash it around a bit and then put it back in. And that takes up, I think it took up from 4 p.m. all the way up until almost 11 p.m. So. And even then, it wasn't very solid. I know! I think it's because I was using double cream. Like, extra thick double cream. It was very, very solid. And mascarpone cheese. Like, I felt I needed a freaking, you know, one of those things that you're like, no, not paint, but the stuff you do with the walls? I know how it is in Russian. I do not know how it is in English. Hold on. Plastering? I think it's plastering. It's as if you're plastering, and you kind of need that little triangle, you know? But yeah, and I sprinkled the very top with, well, you'll see in a little bit. So yeah, I'm trying to spread, the limited amount of cream to cover everything up, but it's not a fixture, really. It's to, what is it called? It's to even out the walls before you paint. Yeah, at this point I was like, I'm gonna use my fingers. People who don't cook with their fingers, like, I get if you're, like, in a kitchen with, like, and you're a professional chef and use, like, gloves and shit, but if you're in your own house, and, like, as long as you wash your hands before you cook and wash your hands after you cook, fucking use your fingers. Sometimes it's easier. Yeah, this is where I had to step around the camera to grab the cocoa powder and then step back in. Yeah, I use the Bonneville because it's not the sweet one, but it's the stuff you can make hot chocolate with. It worked. Yeah, it's a very old, tin, so I've been, like, smacking it to make sure there's, powder in there and not just rocks. Ah, ads. We're gonna go on a quick ad break, if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna refill my drink. I'll be right back. Hey guys, sorry I'm back a little bit late. I was pouring myself a drink. There were ads. Oh, sorry, that skipped. There were no ads for the last month? That's weird, because I had the ad stuff on. Anyway, yep, I think we got to this point. Okay. And I was, like, moving my camera, being all wonky. There we go. Fresh glass of... Oh. Dog finally being in one place. So yeah, I'm using the same tripod and camera I'm using for Puppy Cam as I'm using for the cooking. Except I bought like an extension cord that you can attach to the camera. And there we go. A little bit of chocolate powder on the top. I think I might have gotten a bit too generous with it, honestly. Should have kept it light, but... Oh yeah, I was looking for my sieve and I couldn't find it anywhere. Sam probably put it somewhere when he was unloading the dishwasher, and I can't find it now. I definitely own one, just can't find one. Or couldn't find one at this time. So yeah, there you go. Tiramisu! And then that goes in the fridge for 3 to 4 hours. I find it's actually better on the next day. It's not that good fresh. You kind of want the mascarpone cheese and the double cream to take their time to, like, sink into the ladyfingers. So, yeah. There you go. Tiramisu. The how-to basic. Except I'm not throwing eggs. Alright. Now let's see the beautiful, what is it called? Yeah, the beautiful culmination of all our work of, taste testing and checking how it looks. So the final sort of product, I start with divvying up the tiramisu, which, I guess this was around 10-11 p.m. This was after raid on Sunday. There we go. You can see some of the powder, like, sunk into the cream, but some of the powder was still powdery. Honestly, it doesn't look that good, but it doesn't change the fact that it's delicious. So yeah, I took a big chunk, and then Sam was like, that's a huge piece of tiramisu, girl. And I was like, yo, we got a tray of it. We gotta eat it, man. Yeah, you can see me dropping half of it on the... Here we go. Delicious. Ah. See, because it is only like 3 hours in the fridge, it's still falling apart. It was supposed to, like, it's not turned into one singular mesh just yet, but the next day it comes out really well. But nevertheless, tastes fantastic. In my mouth it goes. Yeah, look how it looks. It looks amazing. We got the next one. Next one came out a little bit easier. Yep, that went into my mouth immediately. Sounds delicious. And there you go. That's kind of a serving. That's quite a large serving, but it's pretty good. And then, this is the final product for the ice cream we were making in the beginning of the stream. Oh, Sam loved it. He loved the tiramisu. Ice cream? Not so much. The tiramisu, 100% was in love. But yeah, the ice cream was like melting too quickly. And I found, maybe it was the marylebone cookies, but it was too sweet. Do you know what I mean? But this is what the ice cream looks after like 6 hours in a freezer. And constant mixing. Look how, it's like soft serve ice cream. But it's melting, like, in your eyes. No, tiramisu isn't an ice cream sandwich. It's a mascarpone cheese, whipped cream, coffee liqueur, dipped ladyfinger kind of thing. Ice cream is iced. Tiramisu is just chilled. But yeah, you can see the ice cream's already melting. So, I don't know, the homemade ice cream, I feel like there's too much faff for what you get, and what you get isn't, like, that great, so I'm probably not gonna make that again. But tiramisu, definitely. Maybe for someone's, like, birthday or something. Or if I'm going on a picnic, I'll definitely bring some tiramisu, because that's not that hard to make. Awesome! So that was the desserts. Now we're gonna go to the Gam Gam recipe that was requested, or the grandma recipe, which is a Russian beef stroganoff. Now, the recipe here isn't complete, mostly because I'll tell you later how to do stuff with it. But yeah, you can see it requires a lot of pots and pans and actually using the stove. So I'm just cutting some onions, and as I'm cutting the onions, I'll just be telling you that while this particular sort of recording has me cooking the beef stroganoff, it then needs to simmer for an hour, and after that you can kind of serve it. And for the garnish, you can make either mashed potato, or rice, or fries, or baked potato. It's really good with potato or rice as a garnish. So I didn't really record me making mashed potatoes because I was kind of in a rush because it was quite late and Sam wanted to eat, and I was like, okay, whatever. He's like, can you get your goddamn filming equipment out of the kitchen? And I was like, all right. And so that is not on the video. It is not true. Vodka is not used in it. But again, I'm not sure how other people do it. This is my mom's recipe, and she got this recipe from my grandma. So this is how I make it. It's actually very little faff. Only about like 30 more minutes of this, not gonna lie. I don't usually bother like mincing onions really thinly, especially for this. Mostly because like it becomes a sauce. And I ain't working in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen, so I don't see the need to like spend hours chopping onions. I chop them small enough to like, you know, not have huge chunks, but yeah, you see how I'm doing it, right? It's not too crazy. There you go. This lighting, man. But yeah, surprisingly, I realize now that I'm watching it back, I cook a lot with my hands. Like, I use my fingers when I cook. Mostly because I like to feel the food. Do you know what I mean? I like to be like, to get the texture going. I don't know. Like, I'm not very icky like when people make meatloaf and they use their hand. Like, they're just like, oh, I don't like touching raw meat. I'm like, whatever. Raw meat, raw fish, raw chicken. Give me that shit. Hands covered in honey and other unmentionables. Like, you're gonna wash him anyway. Why you disgusted? mean, of course you could wear gloves while you're cooking, and that's advised. But I just find that while you're cooking, sometimes you don't sense the temperature very well in gloves. Oh yeah, I basically put potatoes. So for those of you who don't know this trick, if you want a really creamy mashed potato, use Maris Piper type of potatoes. Because I've tried all sorts in the UK. I've tried bacon potatoes. I've tried all kinds. And none of them really, like, are starchy enough to sort of fall apart as much as you need for a mash. I really like my mash to be creamy, almost like a mousse. So if I don't like to feel chunks of potato in my mash. And so Maris Piper is what makes it, like, super easy. They don't take too long to cook, to boil, and they're perfect. I also make them with butter, milk, and cheddar, and some basil. So I, like, pop everything into a pot and just, like, mash, 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 mash away. So... Here, again, here's a hack of a veteran of mashed potatoes. My favorite thing. Love that shit. Oh yeah, during this part, I'm just like peeling them off screen into my bin. So I'm just gonna talk at you. It's not very entertaining. I mean, I could skip it even. It's not much. It's just like, you can see here, I'm just like peeling the potatoes. There you go. I skipped the boring part. We're good. We're good, right? Yes. I generally cut it into, like, big-ish chunks like this, so it boils faster. Because obviously, if it's... You could just boil them on their own, but, like, if it's boiled as is, it's very... It takes a while. And then a lot of the time, the outside is boiled and the inside still isn't. So I think, like, medium-sized chunks is sort of what you need to go for. But yeah. It's mesmerizing watching somebody cut potatoes in it. But yeah. Potato. Yep, some water. Dip them in there. I mean, I know some people say, like, it's better to put them in a boiling water, but it doesn't matter. It's going into a mash. Oh, pardon. So, I don't know what happened, but Archie was left home alone for, like, an hour. And he put all of his toys underneath my desk. So, my desk is covered in, like, dog toys. I'm struggling. Alright. Potatoes are where they need to be. Don't need that anymore. It's just onions that you need to cut up. No other veggies go into the beef stroganoff. Now, what I like is, like, pre-cut beef chunks, mostly because they're usually not very fatty, and they're pre-diced so that they're sort of even size, so they cook evenly. I'm sure you can easily just grab yourself a piece of beef and cut it yourself, but I'm a lazy bitch. And you exclusively cook with butter. That's how you know it's a Russian recipe. You're not gonna use any of that pesky sunflower or olive oil. It's animal butter or nothing. This recipe isn't for the weak. But yeah, usually I make so much beef stroganoff that it's like enough for dinner, enough for lunch the next day, and dinner the next day. It's like a 2-day recipe. It's huge. It's so huge. Yes, Queen, look at that. Look at that butter melt. The smell of melting butter is literally the most delicious thing I've ever smelled. Yeah, go ahead. Was it fun? Cooking? I mean, it's fine. I don't enjoy it, but I don't hate it. It's a necessity. You gotta cook to eat, because if you only eat takeout, I mean, it's easy, but then your wallet's crying, so it's fine. I'm not a big fan of cooking, mostly because, like, I come back from work and all I want to do is sit down and play video games, and I have to cook. And I'm just like, you know, it's... it's time-consuming. I mean, depends on what kind of takeaway you eat. Like, if you eat, like, fried chicken every day, then yeah. But the stuff like takeaway I eat is, like, Italian, or Mexican, or Korean, or Japanese food, or sushi. So it's like, I eat, like, proper food takeaway. So, not fast food takeaway. Honestly, I find I don't really need that much fiber. I'm okay. I don't eat bread. Does bread have fiber? Fuck. I don't know. I mean, this recipe isn't really, like, amazingly nutritious. It's just tasty. So, you can see I just shoved chunks of meat into boiling butter. I can already... I remember that smell. That smells like nothing in the world. Of course, I spilled some shit, so I'm just, like, wiping it up. Also, disclaimer, never do that with a hot pan on the stove. Only do it if you're an expert like me. Oh, you can't see because it's off screen, but then I add paprika. Not smoked paprika, but just regular paprika. And then the secret to the recipe is add curry powder, mild curry powder as well. And then there are specific Georgian spices that, again, I bought off of Amazon because the spices that I got from Russia back when I was there last time are finished, so... and I couldn't find them in any of the, like, Eastern European shops around me, so... Your girl had to struggle. Okay, well, good luck, Ava. Oh, well, obviously salt. And the spices are called khmeli suneli. I was like, this is like the best spice. But it's like herbs and dried herbs from the Caucasian... Caucasus? Caucasus? The mountain range. From that area. And, like, you see how much I put on? Like, layer down the spices. Coat the meat in them, because... don't be stingy. That's what gives the meat flavor. Then you just mix and wait until... So you don't really cook the beef completely, you just cook it to the point where you can't see, like, raw chunks. Yeah, you can see me smelling it, because I'm like, yeah, it smells so good. You sort of... cook it to a consistency where the beef chunks on the outside have completely cooked. On the inside, it can be still squishy, because they'll still be, like, boiling for another hour. Sorry. At this point, I decided to add more medicinelli, because I was like, my bitch gonna smell better. And there we go. Meat, glorious meat. So yeah, with the beef chunks bought from, like, Asda, it's much easier. Because you don't have the prep time of spending hours doing this nightmare. Cool. Now that that was, you can see that the meat is mostly cooked. The fingers are like, Yes, the spices. I remember like gesticulating a lot because I knew I was gonna comment on the video later, but I still the hand gestures get me every time. Yes. So the big pot is after you've sort of mostly cooked the meat. I tend to like overcook it just a little bit. Never the steaks. I always let Sam do the steaks. He does them perfectly. I overcook my meat. Awesome. Just staring at the cooking meat, I guess. It takes a little bit of time. Like, I don't want to put a timer on it. I never cook with a timer unless it's in the oven. And even then, I always eyeball it to see if it's cooked or not. You know, if you've been cooking for years, you end up with this, like, sixth sense of when something is ready. That you're like, yeah, I know timer tells me 10 minutes, but it's not cooked yet. So you just keep cooking it until it's done. And you kind of pour it into the pot. And you're supposed to add boiling water, or like regular water. I add, I think, 2 cups of it, just to cover the meat, and then put it on low fire. I'm just going to grab some. Yeah, so a pint of water, and then just a little bit more. You can see some of the, like, you need to cover the meat. I think, unfortunately, I made too much this time. Like, it's a pint and a half. Ooh, and I spilled some. Again, the camera was just in the way, man. I'm not used to cooking with the camera, so, I struggled a little bit for this one. You can see I'm burning the pan on the left a little bit. Yeah, and that one on the medium heat, and cover, so it comes to boil. The pan, use the same pan for the, more butter, and then the onions that we cut a little while ago. By the way, today's stream is not going to be very long because my friends are coming over in a little bit, I guess. So after this recipe, we'll probably just raid out, and I'll see you again on Sunday with the raid stream. Sorry for the lack of streams this week, but I promise you next week's going to be so much better because I'm on vacation, so it's going to be so much more streaming. I'll finally get to play all the games! My work week has just been hellish. Yep, more butter, and there we go. That's the onions. The onions are going in. The onions. Into a sizzling hot pan. And obviously you've got the leftover spices from where you had the meat in it, the leftover meat juices, the ones that didn't go in the pot. You sort of get the onions to absorb the power. I don't know why they look like a fucking nuclear waste in this light, but... Oh yeah, it's because I have double lighting. So I have the lights from the kitchen, which are like bare bone. And then I also have the lights from my, fat extractor fan. And because of that, there's like just blaring amounts of light going onto the food. So it just looks like it's, you know, clear. I forgot, like, there's a way to edit color correction on your camera, but I just completely forgot how to do that. And honestly, it wasn't too much of a rush. But... yeah, I think I've got, like, 2 favorite smells. One of them is the smell of melting butter, and the second is the smell of frying onions. So, frying onions and butter, it's like, oh. Oh. Oh, good smell. Good shit. Good shit. Alright, so how long am I doing this? I'm doing this for a while. Okay. Now, as the onions look pretty much cooked, I add a little bit more butter, because I think the butter started running out, the onions weren't cooked yet. There we go. Okay. Then I add plain white flour. I add about 3 tablespoons. Mostly because of the size of the pot. This is to make the beef stroganoff a little bit creamier and a little bit more solid, make it more like a sauce than it is like just a liquid goulash or soup. Oh, you can see how the onions are browning nicely. So yeah, I put like 3 spoonfuls into the onions. And then, yeah, mix. I know it looks weird to add dry flour, but you add it before you add any liquid to, like, fry it up a bit. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, cool. You can see the onions are starting to solidify a little bit. Get a more kind of solid consistency. I was just checking on the stroganoff there. And then I add, well, this time I added the extra thick double cream because I had a whole freaking pot of it. But usually I add sour cream just because it gives it the right texture. This time I added sour cream, double cream, just lots of cream. And fried up with the onions and the flour to make it a bit more solid consistency. I think you were supposed to do it on lower heat, but I'm always in such a rush. I did it on regular heat. It came out okay. Man, this is all just sour cream. I think... Ooh. Yeah. It takes a while for it to solidify. Then I think I added a bit of double cream. Yeah. Sorry if I'm skipping a little bit, mostly because, like, this is just mixing video, yeah. Not that entertaining. Cool. Once again, getting everything out of the pot, because you paid for it. Don't let it go to waste. Yep, you can see it's a lot more liquidy now. Still looks like neon radioactive waste. But, it needs to, like, the consistency needs to get to similar to that of, like, liquidy mashed potato. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I turned off, the, pot with meat because it came to boil. So I kind of reduced the heat on that. So you can see it's thickening the mixture because of the flour and the double cream and the onions and everything. It's kind of coming together a little bit. Yeah, and of course I try it by taste. See if it needs... I realize it needs a shit ton of more salt. It wasn't salty enough. Carry on. That's how you cook, you know? We've all been there. People who don't taste their food as they cook? Crazy. You gotta taste it. Especially if you're, like, eyeballing the measurements. You gotta go by the taste. Cool. You can, yeah, you can see already it's like solidifying significantly more than it was at the beginning. And once it's like a solid cream consistency, more or less, I think this is the time I do it. Yeah. It's like you're making a sauce. I mean, I'm sure there's a French way to name this. I just don't know what the French name of this would be. And I'm probably not doing it the way they do it in France. They'd probably kill me, but hey. This is home cooking, okay? Once again, not a chef. Cool, yeah. Just mindlessly mix it until it's ready. There we go. That's kind of the color it's supposed to be. You can see how the meat's already, like, boiling in that little bit of water you added. And now you put the cream in with the meat again. And at first it looks really strange and cloggy, but that's fine. It's supposed to. You leave it for 1 hour on low flame with constant mixing, and the cream kind of blends in with the meat's juice, with the water. It reduces and reduces and reduces until it gets to that beef stroganoff consistency. And there's one last thing you need to add to it to make it taste amazing, and that's bay leaf. Dry bay leaf. Pop it in there. And that's my mom's and grandma's recipe. It's slightly modified. They only use sour cream, but that's because they use Russian smetana, which is kind of like a mix between Mexican sour cream and just double cream. So my mom uses that, and she doesn't need to use as much of it. But because I kind of have to craft my own in the UK, because the sour cream is too sour, so I need to use regular cream to, like, reduce the stroganoff, make it creamier. And again, it depends on the taste and the flavor. Like, I personally prefer it to be creamier. I don't like it to be too sour, but I don't mind it if it's sour. Some people can't handle it if it's too sour, so it's like, you know, whatever your taste is what you do. But yeah, okay. You can cover it with a lid. Sorry, you're staring at my elbow. Because camera placement is not the best one here. But yeah, and that's when you do your mash. You do your rice, if you want to cook rice with it. Just any kind of starchy, because it's very, like, liquidy. Oh, you can see it's bay leaves. Because it's very liquidy, you kind of want a very starchy garnish so that it can soak up the cream and the juices, right, of the stroganoff. And pretty much, yeah, you're done. You're done, son. Oh, you can't see it, but yeah, it's an hour. I again miscalculated where the camera was facing. I thought it was higher than it actually was. And yeah, the food's great. You don't get to see the final dish because, like, at this point I was like, I'm not gonna use the camera. I'm just gonna make the potatoes now. Yeah, always add salt when you boil potatoes. And that's where the video ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this cooking stream. I know it wasn't live cooking, but it was the best I could freaking do. Okay. Because... Oh, that's the wrong one. Because, like, with the setup I'm having now, I wouldn't be able to comment on my cooking. I wouldn't be able to talk to chat. Mostly because... obviously, I'm in the kitchen. My computer, my VTube studio, everything is set up so that I'm sitting in a chair while I'm talking. So I can't really do it. Like, I know there's ways to do it, I just didn't want to. There's a lot of wasted prep time that I've cut down for this kind of stream, and I just find it's not entertaining to watch a person, like, cut onions without anything else quietly, or, like, decide which bowl to use. It's much more entertaining to watch, like, a cut, you know. Alright, let's see who we can raid. Who is on line right now? So we raided, Danny last time. Okay, we got Ava's streaming. Virus. Do no harm. We raided Cappuccino a while back. Seiji. Okay. Go for the friends. We raided Oceanax last time. Let's go. Let's go raid Wispy. Wispy is pretty cool. I think she's playing like a horror game. Okay, go say hello to Wispy. Give her some love. Give her a follow if you don't know her. And let's watch a good. I think it's a horror game. I don't know. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday with more raid stuff. For now, I bid you adieu, and I will see you later. Good night.